This flag quilting is the perfect finish for this Quilt of Valor. Come with me and I'll show you how it's done. Hey guys, welcome back to Frances Quilts. My name is Frances Arnold, and unlike last week, I am not on a rant today. Now, if you remember, my rant was not at anyone or anything except myself, because I had it in my head that it was not okay to mark when I was doing free motion quilting. And you know what? A bunch of you wrote me. Some said that they had the exact same feeling about it, that they felt like they were doing something wrong. And a bunch wrote and said, "What are you talking about? Of course you can mark when you free motion quilt." So I've learned. I'm just going to mark and not worry about it. So today we're going to finish up this Quilt of Valor. I've had a really fun time quilting on it. And you know, I've been talking about Quilts of Valor. Maybe you don't know what that is, so let me just tell you. The Quilt of Valor organization provides quilts and makes quilts for our servicemen, for those men and women who have served our country in so many wonderful ways. It's a way of telling them thank you. It's a way of telling them that we love them and we appreciate them. I'm excited that this quilt is going to be one of those. So when I left you last week, the only thing left to quilt was this top border and the side border here. The side border, I decided just to do some stars that I used a stencil for and some wavy lines. And then up here, I was doing my beautiful flag design. If you remember a few weeks ago, I practiced this design using Golden Threads paper as a marking tool. And that worked great, but I didn't want to have to mark all of those. So I decided I could figure out how to do it without marking it. And you know what? It worked out great. But I did make myself a template. This is going to be where the star is going to go, and then the other will be the flag itself. So I just took this template and put it onto my fabric and started drawing in each of my flags. Since this is the bottom border that I'm working on, I did draw that bottom in there because I want to make sure that I'm not going to overshoot when I'm putting binding on. I don't want to lose any of the flag when I'm putting binding on. But this worked really well. I had a lot of fun quilting it, and let's go have a look and see how it worked. Okay, let's get finished with this last row of flags here. You can see my template where I've marked it. This is the side I'm going to come along here. This square right here is where the star is going to go, so I'll come in here and do a star. And then I'm going to just start doing my wavy lines. I just want to miss this line because that's the start of the next one. The only thing that I have to watch here for is I need to make sure that by the time I get down here, let's see, I come across here 1, I come back 2, I come back here 3. By the time I do this one, I need to be clearing the star right here. Okay, I'm in place. Let's get ready to go. First thing we're going to do is to come up here and do the edge of our first flag. Come along here, and I'm just going to bring it up here till we're about halfway into this star right here. We're now going to do our funky star design. I keep changing how I do this, but I think the easiest way is just to come straight across first. Over here. And then I'm going to dip that back down, headed to that corner, but I'm not going to go all the way to the corner. And then back up here, over here, and then back up to where I started from. I could have made it a little bit bigger right here, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to come up and over the top like this. And now it's time to start our curves. This is the fun part to do. When I get to here, that's almost to that edge, I'm going to just come down and I'm going to come back sort of following or echoing the line that I did previously, but it may not echo all the way, and that's all right. I'm going to come into here, come down, echo back. Here, bring it down. Now I'm up to the one that I said was the hardest to do, because when I get down here, I want to make sure that I'm clearing that star as I'm coming along here. So I may need to bring it down just a tad longer, make that stripe a little bit longer, and then off we go. Now I am choosing not to actually run into this side right here. Instead, I'm just stopping my stripe and bringing it down and coming back. And then as I do this last line, I just want to make sure that I stay above this line that I've marked right here, because I don't want to lose any of this when I put the binding on. So I've given myself an ample area right there. I want to just make sure that these lines are always staying above that line right there that I've drawn. That one got close. And now we're ready to come back on the next one. We've got this line going vertical right here. Let's bring it up here. And we'll do it again. For some reason, I'm having some issues with my top thread shredding here. I'm not sure what's going on. It's done it twice now. If it does it a third time, I will stop and do everything, rethread everything, but I sure don't want to have to do that. So y'all hold your mouth right and let's hope that I can get through this. All right, now I can raise my hands in the air and say hallelujah, because this quilt is finally quilted. All I have left to do now is to do some trimming and add some binding to it, and then find some time to do that hand binding, because they do ask you to use hand and not machine for the Quilts of Valor program. My friend Marnie, who designed the quilt and did the piecing of the top, was here today, and she's excited about how it looks, and like me, she cannot wait to see our friend draped in this wonderful quilt that will just tell him how much we appreciate what he has done for our country. Well, that's it for today. Now I have to figure out something for next week, so come back and see what I come up with. Thanks so much for joining me here today, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next time on Frances Quilts. Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please check out my website and daily blog at francesquilts.com, and I can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Frances Quilts. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.